We hit the record button. YouTube Let's Play is here. Everything gets uploaded. And it's time to start trial number 3. Roar. Time to start trial number 3. I notice our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller, but I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. Our lined up silhouettes get smaller and smaller because there's less. Some hot chocolate pudding. That sounds good. The elevator began its deep descent as usual, but nobody said a word. If anything happens to Chiaki, I'll kill everybody on this elevator and then myself. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. I feel like a game like this doesn't have a lot of replayability because you know what the hell's gonna happen. But maybe that's why it's so much better for me, because before I played Danganronpa 1 and 2, I never heard anything about this game. Never seen anything. The only thing I ever recognized was Monokuma, and I didn't even know who that was. I thought it was just some random thing. You can do the friendship with the people who died before you got a chance. Yeah, but that doesn't really change the story at all. Light poured through the other side. I rode in the boundaries of darkness, and I walked into that place. My, it feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here. Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him. Why bother? What? Now then, let's begin. It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Saionji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself, and she was desperately trying to come to terms with my hero's death. The person who killed those 2 is among us. I definitely can't believe it. Oh man, this frame's losing everybody, but it has the 2 fan favorites. Oh man, this frame's losing everybody too, but it has me, so it ain't gonna lose me. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake, for our friend's sake, for Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. I do like those little images showing who's dead. This life-threatening trial billowing with hope and despair has begun. Save? Yeah, let's save the game. I'm not achievement hunting in a game like this, I'll say that. Definitely not achievement hunting in this game. This is a game that's a one and done for me.
Now then,
no reason to play this game twice.
Of the class
for me.
Trial.
Some people play the same game all the time.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
I kind of think he could have did something.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
I kind of think it was him.
Empty head? What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those 2 can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, Why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
All right.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
Shut the fuck up,
I
Makoto.
tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
Why are you blushing right now?
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
Let's go, Fuyuhiko!
After I rested for a bit,
Talk about a Cinderella
I started
story.
counting everyone at the hospital.
Talk about a Cinderella story with Fuyuhiko.
I noticed Ibuki was gone, so I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko, so I fled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag. So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the 4 of us broke down the door.
You got sliced by a sword like 2 days ago.
And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Shut up, Makoto!
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true? Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now.
But I'm not lying!
Lie? Why would I lie?
Obviously. So you can make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
God, I hope it's him.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
But I have a feeling he's not gonna die. Just as Kazuchiki said, Nagito's the kind of guy who just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. God, I hate Nagito. I just have a feeling he's not gonna die at all in this game. Alright.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
Hajime's testimony is a lie. And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
What?
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
I'm not the killer. I know the contradiction. I already know it. First try wonder, baby.
testimony is clearly
First
suspicious.
try wonder. Literally, like,
Hajime's testimony
get your
is
shot up.
reliable.
Boom. They're taking it.
And the fact that Ibuki...
That would
I already
also-
know
I
it.
don't think I can. After all,
Why would Hajime...
well, obviously,
I didn't see the movie.
the bodies were imitating the movie. No, that's wrong.
That's wrong. I haven't seen the movie.
I'm not the killer. I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated him. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation.
What a guy.
It also provides a good warm-up.
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Well, technically.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
See ya, Lady Staria.
Well then,
Thanks for hanging.
Since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it. Ibuki committed suicide.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is.
What?
The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
It's a lot harder than it
Then
seems.
let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside,
It's really
the killer
convenient.
would
All these
not have
places
been
only
able
have
to
one
leave either.
entrance.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two, Sonia and Kazuichi.
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis.
Yeah!
Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
I was saying Nekumaru the whole time.
Hey, why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird,
I was saying
are you?
Nekumaru the whole time. It could be easily
Stop
him.
making that joke.
Could easily be Nekumaru.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it? Well, I mean, there's only one entrance, so... Let's see.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
What's up, Gimmick?
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
How are you doing?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
I think I got it. I think I got it.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
We snipe it at...
Talking about the broken drumstick?
Fuck, dude! Oh, Jesus, I thought that was it.
Crap!
I'm doing good, Gimmick. I'm glad you're doing well.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside,
Don't laugh. That was a good
they tried to keep us
guess.
from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
That was a
The
good
lock was on the
guess.
floor in front of the.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a. By doing that, the kid waited till we got and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
That was a good guess.
The killer was still inside the music. By locking the door from the inside.
That was the right answer. It was the right answer still.
Hold on a second. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
But how'd they get the drumstick on there?
From the outside? How? There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob was probably glue.
I see!
Glue!
That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
Glue!
I didn't know glue was edible.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
Doesn't this guys make you miss Ace Attorney?
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know? That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Big brain.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose?
Yeah.
Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
That's me.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Yeah.
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap that was stuck on the baton light in the music venue. Now I should be able to figure out what that is. Oh god. Wallpaper? Wallpaper. Is that an M or a W? It's a W. Whoops. I didn't even do that. I don't care what any of you say. This is not better than the previous Hangman's Gambit. It's not better than the previous Hangman's Gambit.
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there?
Right. You overlaid the scrap that was caught on the lighting, tear in the wallpaper. See? It fits perfectly.
Yeah, we knew that.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
That scrap of paper stuck to the baton light was part of that wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Oh, are we skating again? Welcome back, Emmy. Skating time! What the fuck is this? It's the logic dive. We'll have two options that we need to choose from. A question will pop up and we'll have two options to choose from. Why did Hyoko's body suddenly appear in the crime scene? It was hidden. What did the killer use to hide her body? The wallpaper. 2 for 2. How did the killer hide her body with the wallpaper? They covered the pillar.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming! Danganronpa always has stupid minigames.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Kyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Yeah, she witnessed that murder.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on it.
Yep.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
Bold and risky.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually
I
killed?
still think it was the
Good point.
mechanic.
And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness
My
in your
theory
movies
is the
without my
mechanic is
permission.
just the
You're
bitch.
pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them. I knew it. There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie. Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her
But
death
it also could be
matches the
Nekomaru,
lion's death.
because he doesn't know about the,
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer
Nekomaru.
go to all this trouble in the first place?
Because he doesn't know about the cameras.
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that difficult to figure out.
But why would he do it right in front of the camera? The reason the killer imitated the two victims in that movie, I should be able to explain that. To hide the weapon, to mix up the kill in order. Let their accomplice escape? No.
Crap!
This one's actually kind of hard. To mix up the killing order? To let their accomplice escape? I feel like it's that, but why would there be an accomplice? Nope.
Crap!
It was the one thing. It was to mix them up. Oh god, I'm not gonna fail, right?
I see.
Fucking Christ, I didn't even get a chance.
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then Hiyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
There was blood on
Yeah,
Ibuki's
it's
shoes.
The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
What?
I'm not even crying.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell
Maybe
me before I
the
change my
person
mind.
ordered
What a jerk!
Kabuki to
Oh, I
Ibuki
see.
to kill.
You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
Maybe they ordered Ibuki to kill her, then kill themselves.
Impossible.
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather.
Yeah.
Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Should you add a Chiaki
Because she was
emote?
doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
It's up to you.
You're one to talk.
If this continues, we're just gonna talk in circles. I think it's best if we clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed. This one seems obvious.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
Got it! Didn't even need to read the rest of it. Confidence!
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right? She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood.
Hiyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
Yeah.
If Ibuki stepped on her blood,
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Dragon Link, what are you doing?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line. But are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know.
You're showing chat emotes? Oh, I thought you were trying to add
You're
them.
so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status. However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest.
I hate this shit.
You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belong? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. See a nice nightmare?
I know what it
You're saying
is.
the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through this.
Allow me to cut through this mark!
The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
Don't say such foolish things! You don't have proof of that at all!
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right? Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding. Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating, so I don't think they had to go that far.
What?
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file just to keep concrete evidence from us.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
It appears that it is wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Now then, let us resume our debate.
Let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma.
Oh god, he's talking again.
Huh? Again? Didn't something like this happen last time too?
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Thanks for lurking, FG.
The same as always.
Enjoy
you
the
have
nap.
to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself. Unfortunately, that means there's no Blackened to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Why me?
Nagito, what do you mean? If the victim actually committed suicide?
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's death, but I'm wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example, it's possible Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
Yeah, I said that
That's
earlier.
totally impossible. Then she never would have killed her to begin with.
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right? After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
Then she was alive! When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead. If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime scene.
She hanged herself, remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging. Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If anyone touched her, that alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means there's no doubt that someone killed those two. I'm glad. Now I'm free to search for the killer.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue
Can this
on
guy
my mind.
shut up?
If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, just what was that video Hajime saw? According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right? Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
Forced? Perhaps they used hypnotism or something?
No.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something. So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi. Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then the video Hajime saw was actually right?
Just like the stream?
Did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement. And I saw the body of the music video a little after Monokuma's announcement.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement. And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
Is Sonya's anybody is anybody's favorite character Sonya in this game? Dude, I cannot remember all these fucking accounts.
We can...
Mikan was with Hajime the whole time afterwards. She went to the hospital to check on everyone and realized that Ibuki had disappeared. When she rushed out to the hospital to search for Ibuki, she apparently met up with Fuyuhiko. After Fuyuhiko met Mikan in front of the hospital, they split up and searched for Ibuki. They checked the movie theater and Electric Ave, but they didn't find anyone. Apparently, Fuyuhiko and Mikan were only separated for a short time. Hiyoko was distraught because her kimono was disheveled and she was unable to tie it on her own. That's when Sonya apparently told her about the full-length mirror in the music's venue storage room. She ordered Chinese or burgies for dinner? Burgies.
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Maybe it's Fuyuhiko's account.
Right before the morning
Because he was
announcement,
like, I was in my cottage.
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
Nope.
Crap!
Wasn't it?
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
Sonya's
What about
account.
you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an
Sonya
alibi.
was not sleeping in the hotel room.
Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has
Sonya
failed.
wasn't sleeping.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
So maybe it's Sonya's
What
account
about
on the
the others?
sleeping part.
Right before I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Nope. Oh, I
I
missed.
think everyone at the motel was doing...
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Damn it.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Sonya's account wasn't her
Right
sleeping.
before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
Fuck!
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement.
Maybe it is Mikan's account in the first one.
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel.
So everyone who stayed at the motel. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Maybe I have to agree with him, though, and be like, yes.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning, I was totally asleep.
I think everyone at.
So everyone who stayed. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
Damn it!
Crap!
I think I have an idea.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane.
Damn it!
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement. I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Fuck, this one's hard, man. I'm probably gonna fail this one. Maybe it's Sonya's account on the weakest alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then
Nope.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement. I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Sonya was not sleeping in her
aside from those
account.
afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
They're saying everyone was sleeping, but Sonya was not sleeping. But that one didn't work already, unless I messed it up and put Mikan's on there instead of Sonya.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement. I was totally sleeping in my
I'll try.
motel room.
Damn it. I did try that.
Crap!
What do you mean Sonya wasn't sleeping? Hyoko was distraught because her kimono was disheveled and she was unable to tie it on her own. That's when Sonya apparently told her about the full-length mirror in the music venue storage room. So Sonya wasn't sleeping. She was with whatever the hell her name was. Hyoko.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement. I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Maybe it's Mikan's account on the own cottage.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel.
Mikan's account, because they were with each other.
So everyone who stayed. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
Fucking hell.
Crap! We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So
This is one of those ones where you have to get the exact fucking phrasing, and I'm just missing it by a half an inch.
My own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
I don't know which one I need to
Right
shoot.
before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
I don't fucking know which one I was doing. I genuinely don't know.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was
Why are these games so horny? Because it sells money.
That's
Or it
not
makes
an
money, I
alibi.
should say. It sells and gets the money.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Murder supposedly happened before and during the morning announcements. The person who doesn't have an alibi for that time.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
right before the morning announcement. I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed.
Yeah, I'll take a hint. I'm not getting this shit. If anyone could give a hint without 100% spoiling it, I have no idea. This is one of those that just makes no sense to me. And the answer is going to be so fucking obvious. Like it is every time. Or the wording's just going to be not the way it is. Maybe the weakest alibi is Mikan's account? Throw that at Sonya? Because I threw Mikan's account at Fuyahiko when he was talking about sleeping in his own cottage, and that didn't work. But maybe it's them saying, maybe the game is just like, oh, you have Mikan's account, says she went to go check on everybody in the hospital. Were these two there in the beginning?
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
Nope.
Crap!
Alright, it's the last
We can
one,
exclude
then.
the sick people.
And what about the app right before them?
I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was.
So everyone who stayed at the motel. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from...
Dude, I was about to throw it. I was about to throw it!
This is my... We will never give up!
Let's see if I would have
We
been
can
right
exclude the
anyways.
sick people like me and Akane.
And what about the others?
Right before the morning, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
It's probably not even gonna be
Everyone at the
right.
motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi...
No, that's wrong!
Jesus Christ, it was right.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
You two have alibis?
It was right there because we
Up
do
until
have
I saw that
alibis.
hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hajime. Too much info.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And we went to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
It was so obvious.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very important.
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has backed us into a corner instead.
But committing an imitation murder, is that really all it was?
Oh, shut up, Makoto.
Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process? Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much, but that's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Inside a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose and what kind of trap is it? Maybe the nurse is the killer. Oh, that's halfway through? That doesn't feel halfway through. That feels like 1/3 of the way through.
Hiya!
You bet that's not even Makoto's voice actor? It is Makoto's voice actor, though. Don't characterize me as someone who lives off of moss balls. And here's some chance time. What's that? Monomi's appeal time starts now. Appeal time? Your kind-hearted big brother's gonna give you the chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a redheaded stepchild who's boss. That's 99% your fault. While you were whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. Thanks for being patient, you guys, by the way. If your appeal is successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Usami, magical miracle girl. Usami, it's an itty bitty girl who's sweet like milk. Jeez, and I thought a certain robot's little sister was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Save? Yeah, we'll keep saving it. Let's get it going.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this?
Unluckiness.
We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead.
I don't trust her.
No, this definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
The end of the last chapter. Remember what she was saying? The reason the killer did an imitation murder is a reason other than falsifying the murder sequence? Does something like that even exist?
It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too.
I hate
If
this
that
guy.
happened, the imitation would have been perfect. So why didn't they do that?
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
But that rule didn't exist.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right?
Yeah.
But Hyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape.
Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to
I have a feeling it could be her somehow, but that's way too
Well, that's probably it.
sad to think about.
That attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
Yoko's murder wasn't planned?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of us?
It makes sense.
It's not just the poor imitation.
On Sonya's
There are
account.
also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
No, we know why.
Freaking clue what you're trying to say.
It was an accidental murder.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My 4 Dark Devas of Destruction are getting riled up.
The 4 Dark Devas of Destruction. Why she went to the murder sequence? So if we listen to Sonya's account... No, we don't have it, but we have the motel room key.
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
Or she was guided by the will of causality.
No, not that one.
Why did Hyoko
Maybe we take
go
Summoned
to the music venue?
and throw it on Sonya.
Know that.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it,
Bro, what?
Maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
She was guided by the will of causality.
The Wizard of Monami? What the fuck is the Wizard? Oh, wait, that's the goddamn movie.
Why did Hyoko go to the news? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
That's not it.
Wait, can I not take those?
Maybe she got abducted by the killer.
Also, hey, Kayvon.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
She was guided by the will of causality.
Am I not allowed to take these?
Go to the news venue? There's no way
The last chapter we were able to take them.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe.
I'm hitting the right button to steal, so I
She
guess I
went
just
of her
can't
own
steal
free
these.
will.
She was guided by the will of causality.
Why did Hyoko go to the news venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Yeah, we're supposed to agree and
Maybe the killer
support the
summoned her.
statement,
If that's
I
not
guess.
it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
I agree
No,
with that.
Maybe. She went of her own free will.
I agree with that. It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
You're the one that...
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Hyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hyoko got abducted.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't move.
Oh god, wait.
Are you saying my gut was wrong?
Yeah.
This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
No, that's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk. I'll shut you up right now.
Buh.
Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak, and that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down!
Bro, what?
Hyoko was locked inside her room. She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
I can't back down!
Dude, I can't mash that fast without hurting my
Hyoko
hands.
was locked inside her room. She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Oh, I only have a certain amount of cuts.
Hyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or the killer forced their way into Hyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed up.
What?
Crap!
Hold on. Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer.
Nope, I went it too early. Allow me to cut through those words.
The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room.
There's still 4 more hours of
That is
this
why I
trial.
informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
Then the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something something.
Hell no.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course. I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
I agree.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head, and without hesitation,
Killed Hiyoko.
because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you have any ideas?
Damn, you don't know the most important part.
We don't. The killer's plan from the beginning. I'm pretty sure we're very, very
Hey,
close.
Nagito, any ideas?
Oh, God.
Hey, how long are you gonna stay quiet?
Oh, am I allowed to speak? I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion. Ibuki definitely didn't commit suicide.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember, there was blood on Ibuki's slippers. So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no way Ibuki committed suicide.
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Huh? Really? That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
You're kind of useless too, Soda. Wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place if she kept walking around.
It's very strange.
Strange? What's strange?
Those footprints, there's still an important clue left that we completely overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Then why weren't there any footprints on the... Why weren't there any footprints on the... stepladder?
I can prove it with this. If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah.
What are you doing,
That stepladder
stepladder?
was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Did you notice such a small detail? How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate!
What are you talking about? You were obviously leading us to this. That's why you brought up the suicide topic after all this time. Nagito Kamaida, you're definitely someone I shouldn't underestimate.
Didn't you say you saw that video?
Don't underestimate him.
Climbing stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it. Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trick arranged in that video.
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only one who saw that video.
Comes down to that. The mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video, and whether or not we can reach the hidden truth is all up to
Hajime,
me.
I leave it in your hands. As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
There was some hidden clue in that video. Should have been seeing something strange as I watched it. I'm the only one who can clear that up. I'm the only one who actually saw the video, so I'm the only one who can do it. What's so strange about it? There's no bloodstains on it.
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side, there was a bloodstain, right on the left side of the stepladder. However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital. There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
Clean! Literally.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. The stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
There was two in the
Where
closet.
would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music venue.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue. What do you mean?
you're suggesting that the stepladder in the video isn't the only thing that's different. Am I right? That's amazing, Chiaki. All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
What are you two talking about?
She's getting nervous. Stepladder was at a different place, but if that's the case, the thing that's different between the video and the actual scene of the crime is the place where the killer did something. That thing? What the fuck is that? Bro, what the fuck is that? Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 7 letters, and then 3, 6, 8 letters. 7 letters, then 8 letters. I do not know. I hate this Hangman's Gambit, though. FLI. I was thinking maybe murder location, but that's not long enough. What's the difference between the video I saw and the actual crime scene? The difference between the video they saw and the actual crime scene. Seven letters, then 8 letters. Seven letters, then 8 letters. Let's throw F out there. Maybe that. Maybe F. We hit 1. What's up, Reld? Filming location? I need an eye. I needed that A. Ay, ay, ay. Oh! Filming location.
That's right. Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue.
Then how did the body
It
show
was
up
filmed
there?
somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor's supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
You know, it shows that they filmed the video at the music venue instead of somewhere else. What did the killer do to the surveillance camera unit? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, was that just a freebie? Did I just miss? Pardon me. Holy shit. Bless. Thank you. Which part of the surveillance camera unit did the killer tamper with? Both. The way it's set up, he tampered with both. It was the camera. All right. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Bro, what the fuck is this? You gotta be kidding me. Why do they make such stupid games at times? This is hurting my vision. Question 2. Did the killer tamper with the camera at the music venue or the hospital? The hospital. It's a trick question. That's definitely the music venue. I thought it was a trick question! I'm horrible at all of them. I agree. I fucking suck at these. And I'm not even good at the trial either. I have my moments, but... What did the killer do with the camera from the music venue surveillance camera unit? They increased the signal. Is the stupid answer to say they obviously took it with them. I was just toying with them. You know? It's obviously anybody with a brain would know they took it with them. Anybody with a brain would know they took it with them. Anyone with a brain. That was just toying.
it's all coming together.
I thought maybe they could have died.
That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music venue. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue, when it was actually from somewhere else.
Then only the monitor was left in the music venue?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the start and made this easier on all of us.
He did discover the body. I doubt his attention was focused on the camera.
That's true, but in order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one more thing to the remaining monitor.
Destroyed it.
I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection wasn't that strong.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the hospital to
Yeah,
the
two people
motel.
died.
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Which means even if it was filmed in another place, as long as it was transmitted to the hospital, the range would be pretty limited. Where was the video filmed to make it look like it was filmed at the music venue? The conference room in the hospital. I already got this one, dude. I already fucking got this one. Come on, give me a fucking C. Now it's for the ultimate test. Do I know how to spell conference? The answer is yes. What happens if I get it bigger? Oh, I destroyed the R. Whoops. Bro, that was literally what? What was that? Oh, fucking Christ. Oh, fucking hell. Ugh.
Possible that it was filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh? Conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
To make the conference room look like the music venue, the killer went ahead and did some work. I've got to make it clear what that work was. Curtain.
There's no way the conference room
I think it was the nurse.
and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
Damn it!
Damn it!
Hey, that's my line.
There's no way the
It was me,
conference
yep.
room and the music venue.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
They might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming locations. Hajime, you're pretty stupid.
There's no way the conference and the music venue look the
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue?
What?
Damn it!
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Oh, it was backwards! It was backwards!
What the killer did was make the music venue, the crime scene, look like the conference room. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the back of the stage.
From what I remember, there used to be a really flashy curtain. But after the incident, it somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Monami.
Oh, shut up.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid! That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like the conference room? In actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light-blocking curtain that's long enough to reach the floor.
I see. The conference room. Indeed, the floor of that room is the same color as the music venue stage. So the killer chose the conference room because they realized the floor matched.
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense you'd mistake the two.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
It's gotta be that. What?
Crap!
Oh, gotta make the music venue look like it? Oh, jeez, you should fucking tamper with evidence. It's gotta be the thermostat. Maybe it's just the candle.
I can prove it with
It is
this.
the candle.
You're referring to the candle in the music venue, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. But if you think about it, that's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting. so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
That might have been another reason, but
I hope it's not
another
Makan, but I
reason
feel like
was
it might be.
probably to tamper with evidence. The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. They couldn't be used during filming. That's why the killer used a candle with film lighting instead.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was the same candle that was used in the video.
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
Do I like
As long
Makan?
as this all
Yeah,
matches
she's
up,
not bad.
It should be no problem to say this is decided. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue. It was actually filmed at the hospital conference room.
But how would they get the body there?
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up, so I didn't find anything when I went there.
But there's no mistake. That's the only place within the connection range of the surveillance camera.
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinctive.
But this must be a surprising turn of events for Hajime. You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital was being filmed in the conference room.
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime, it's occurring in the conference room.
I feel like I've heard Bayside Cops say that before, but isn't it the other way around?
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the conference room too?
No, that's not possible. Right after Hajime saw that video, he discovered Ibuki's body at the music venue.
That's what I'm saying. That video was filmed at the conference room, but Ibuki's body was at the music venue, which means there was a fake somewhere. That fake must have been... That fake?
I see! The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki. It was the killer pretending to be Ibuki.
And they have long hair!
Put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head, and was only pretending to be the victim.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
The actual time of death must have been earlier. Probably around midnight or dawn to avoid witnesses.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the day.
So that's what happened, and no matter how quickly I ran, it was impossible for me to rescue Ibuki. At that moment, I was already in the killer's traps. And the one who set the trap for me was...
Why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so Hajime could go to the crime scene?
The reason the killer made a fake video... There's only one possibility I can think of. And if I examine that possibility thoroughly, then naturally the killer's identity will reveal itself.
Huh?
You fiend! Are you saying you already know who the
Another
killer
person
is?
died, 2 people died. I think it's Soda. But it can't be Soda.
You're the only one!
I want to say Soda, but it can't be.
You're the killer, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hyoko?
Killer? Huh? I'm the killer? What is this?
Hey, don't you think that's kinda impossible? A chick like her as the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her first.
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely out of the question.
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi? Was that the killer's goal?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier. Only Hajime and Nikon have an alibi.
It's just a coincidence.
For killing Ibuki.
You're the only one who could have killed
Ibuki
that
had the
video in
despair
hospital
disease.
conference room.
Easy for her to die.
Is that also a coincidence? At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room, but you actually went to the conference room. That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance, put the bag on your head, and began filming. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music video.
Great, man.
And showed that to me. Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through the lobby.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room to film.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Kane and I, were both delirious from the despair disease.
So that must mean...
Please, wait a second. What are you saying? I'm the killer? That's impossible. There's no way I could kill someone.
It's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better defense than that?
Damn, Makoto.
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this chick is really the killer?
Wrong. It's totally wrong. It's not what you think.
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean, Mikon is the killer?
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be killed by such a slow-witted woman.
That slow-witted remark is not necessary.
It's fine. I've been like this.
Why am I calling him Makoto?
Time.
He's Makoto to
In
me.
a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my soft reputation.
He's Makoto.
Even I can't deny that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible for me to kill someone. I'm serious. Very serious.
What do you say, Hajime?
Do you still believe this woman is the killer?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
Hey, Hajime!
Everyone's ganging up on me. Tricks aside, logic aside, is she really capable of doing something like this? Could it be I'm the one making a mistake? No. In fact, it'd be so much easier if I was wrong. If I have this much doubt about someone I've spent so much time with.
Can you hold on a minute?
Huh?
Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all, and I mean, I have no place to say this. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killer this time. I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating with no leads.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that nobody else knows.
Of course.
Are you serious?
Maybe it could still be
I've
Soda.
been so focused on everybody else this trial. But I guess now...
I still hope it's Soda.
You'd better not have kept quiet on purpose. This isn't a game, you know.
Actually, this is a game.
Please don't say such controversial statements. Well, what do you know, Nagito?
This is a game.
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that points to the killer.
I hope it's Soda.
That's a huge deal!
A decisive clue. Does something like that really
It's probably
exist?
not, but
Let's take a look, shall we? Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from, this rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any ropes inside the music venue.
Again with the supermarket? That place is a hotspot for criminal goods.
If they got it at the supermarket, That means it was brand new, right?
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loopy Buki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long. What's wrong with the rope being frayed?
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this. The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck, pulled both ends at full strength, and strangled her. The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
God, I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope clue all along. What exactly did you say to me during the investigation?
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the truth will obviously be here too. Just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
Classic.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki. And then?
And then, I finished speaking.
How is that a decisive clue?
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought I made the decisive clue very clear.
Nagita's words contain a decisive clue? Is that really true? Don't tell me it's Hangman's Gambit. Okay, I can maybe handle this.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Buki's true cause of death was strangulation. The fact is the decisive proof that will lead to the killer.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different.
I think I need the strangled.
The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
Alright, I have a
That's
guess.
basically the same thing.
I don't think it's right, but I'll just throw it out there.
Hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Damn it, I was wrong.
Crap!
That wasn't my first one, that was my second one, but...
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, the scars they leave.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging.
Hey, M-Man.
Did we fall for someone's lie?
Damn it.
Crap!
Ay, ay, ay.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strength, the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Hurry up already,
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars
Rope
they
used
leave
for
would look
hanging.
different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would...
Monokuma file, there are two victims. Ibuki Mana's cause of death was a crushed windpipe as a result of choking. There were no other external injuries.
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
I just threw that one at the wall.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know.
Crap! Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different.
I feel like it's
Scars they
rope
leave would
used
look
for
different
hanging
too.
or strangled.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Yeah, I don't know how to tell the game this.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Fuck. I think it's so fucking stupid that if you fail a trial at some point, no matter how it is, everyone's just like, yup, it's Hajime, yup, Hajime, yup, it's this guy.
This is Mike.
100% it's him, yup, game over, it's him.
Never give up.
You ever played Mafia? I think I played
Ibuki
Mafia
didn't
2
die
for a
from
little
hanging.
bit.
She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same
I
thing.
played LA Noire. I played Godfather. Godfather was a really good game.
The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too.
No, I've never played that.
It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
No hanging. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know.
Crap! Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Fucking Christ.
Crap!
Maybe it's the rope used for hanging was...
Ibuki didn't die from... She was strangled to death.
Oh, lovely. It doesn't work.
That's basically the
Oh,
same
my
thing.
fuck.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would... Scars?
But we believed it. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone? The body at the crime scene. Obviously, we'd
The Monokuma file, it never specified.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
Ibuki's true cause of death was strangulation. That fact is the decisive proof that will lead to the killer. Maybe it's the AC thermometer, and we couldn't have the Monokuma file tell us it never specified. I agree, it never specified because of the AC
That's basically
temperature.
the same thing.
Maybe that's it.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope?
But we believed it was from a... Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you
I got
know.
points to
Obviously, we'd assume it.
throw out the window.
File complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Bro, what? Oh, it was wrong anyways.
Crap! Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
Nope.
Crap! Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem simple, the scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it!
So much easier than I
So
fucking...
that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
Fuck you, Soda. I hate you so much. There's no doubt Ibuki's cause of death was being hanged by this rope, right? Yes, she had no other external injuries, so there's no doubt she died from hanging herself. I see. So Ibuki died by hanging herself.
You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete lie, wasn't it, Mikan?
That is... well...
You told us the wrong cause of death. You lied, didn't you?
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling just by looking. You, Mikon, the ultimate nurse.
Please wait! First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical knowledge to identify injuries like that. That's why it's not my fault if I made a mistake.
You are right. And you have been a great help to us so far.
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right. I'm such a clumsy mess, and I got so careless.
Mikan nursed me till I got better. There's no way I'm gonna doubt her.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki to her death?
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikan because she was nursing her.
So Mikan volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do this all along?
That's a little... Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else of being thieves?
I'm not a criminal. Mikan is. I mean, she's a killer, you know.
You've got it all wrong. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still have not decided if Mikan is the killer.
Is she the killer?
I see. You guys are kind. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes, then the only thing I can do is back off, I guess. But is that really okay? Is that everyone's hope?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep talking, I'm seriously gonna beat you up!
But I'm really not the killer. There's no way I'm capable of killing someone.
Is that really true?
Stop it already! That's enough!
I can't stop. I don't want to do this either. Of course I don't want to do this. But I need to do this.
You doubt your friends?
That's not it. I suspect them because I want to believe them.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposites.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt, then there's no reason to believe.
Don't say deep
Ah,
stuff.
Jesus.
I don't really get it.
If you want to believe in someone, you need to overcome doubt first. Belief without doubt is simply a lie.
Thanks.
Fine. Do whatever you want. I won't stop you anymore.
Huh? Is that all you can say? Ah, so in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh?
Of course.
Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really your fault.
She gave up.
Everyone always treats me like that. Always. It's all her fault. She's the one with the problem. I'm done with that. You hear me?
What's that, like the 5th time they've switched their character personality?
Hey, Mikan.
It's not fair. It's not fair. 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 Why won't you forgive me? If you fix it, you forgive yourself right away. What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Well, this is annoying. Plus, to be honest, I've run out of ideas. How can we get you to admit it?
If we don't have any clues, why don't we have her give us some? I'm the same as Hajime. I don't want to doubt any of my friends. But still, the truth is one of us murdered 2 of our friends. That's why we gotta stick with this until the very end.
We got another hour and a half.
Finally break these chains of despair. Hey, Mikan, can I ask you one last thing? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated that video Hajime watched? Like I said, it obviously wasn't me. Can you prove it? Prove it? Wait. Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that video? That's right! Show me your proof! Because you're just assuming the video was filmed at the conference room. Treating me like a killer based on an assumption. Just because I was at the hospital. That's totally crazy! I didn't do anything wrong!
Another hour and a half. Get your popcorn.
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
I'm not the killer! I never filmed that video! It seems she finally started arguing for us. But the only one who can find
New
a hole in her
YouTube
argument
subscriber.
is you, Hajime.
Okay.
Fucking course it is.
So, I'm going to leave this to you once again.
Of course. She's saying everyone's fate depends on me, the only person who saw that video.
To decide I'm the killer. Where's your proof? Please, forgive me already!
I'm the one who has to do it. I'm the one who's gonna finish this. Oh god, here we go again.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really?
I got it.
You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that
I got it. 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 I already know it.
So please forgive me already! Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
No, I know. Don't
Only
worry.
one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I know. Don't worry. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I literally already got it.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle.
I thought the
Just
proof
from
was
that
yellow.
dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already! Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Whoa!
Damn it!
It's the hemp bag!
I'm not the killer!
It's the hemp bag,
Can't think of
man!
anybody else other than who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof?
I thought the proof was
Is the
yellow.
hemp bag on her head the proof?
Actually,
The
yes.
hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown just from.
Maybe I throw the hemp bag on her head at the hemp bag on her head.
Dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be so pleased. Hajime, if you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake. I'm not the killer.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed.
Do you have? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Oh, it wasn't that.
Damn it!
I'm not the killer.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
Blood on the shoes.
The hospital slippers she had.
Oh, the blood.
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you.
Dude, all of these make sense the way I've thrown it at him.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already! Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake. I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Oh!
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We
The
can't think of
killer's
anybody who
mistake.
could have filmed that.
Maybe it is the shoes still, and I was cooking red. I just didn't have the right thing.
Is the hospital gown she was with, or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight. There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please, Hajime, pay close attention and listen. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I know. I know. The slippers!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type!
So please forgive me already! Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Ay, ay, ay. Dude, I feel like I've thrown everything at the fucking wall right now.
Who could have filmed that video?
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on? Ibuki and Mika. Is that really? You could tell her body type under the... Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type!
So please Hajime, hey, you're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I can't point it out if you don't let me take the bullet!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any... Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing... Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different bodies.
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital. Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body
I feel like it literally could be any of the things she said. The bag, the slippers, the gown. I just haven't taken the fucking
Hajime,
gown yet.
pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
Bro, are you kidding me? Hey, Amarist, it's so ridiculous. You gotta be kidding me.
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing, or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan.
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown just from that video, just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type!
So please forgive me already! Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
It's killer's mistake onto something. Maybe it's the body type with the hair?
I'm not the killer!
Because they have different
We can't think of anybody
colors
else other
in
than
there?
you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown.
Nope, I couldn't.
Damn it!
I saw hair in the video. You gotta be kidding me. Let's get this shit over with. I will never give up. Oh yeah, she's the killer.
This is my... We will never give up!
Maybe I have the killer's mistake backwards. And I have to take what Mikan is saying. Whatever the fuck her name is. Macaroon is saying.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
I'll go
Or
slippers
could it be
first.
the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different...
Is that really?
Maybe
You
it's
could
just
tell
I
her
have it
body type
backwards.
under the
Because I've had it
just
backwards
from
like
that video,
86 times in Danganronpa.
Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
Maybe it's the fucking bag.
You can't think of anybody else other who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Yeah.
Is the hospital gown
Literally
the
everything you're
hospital
saying is
slip
proof.
Ibuki and Mika.
And I've said why it's
Body
proof.
under the hospital just from that video, just from that camera angle.
Look, if we look at the fucking video, you can barely see hair. Where's the scene of the crime? Oh, come on. We can barely fucking see the scene of the crime.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please forgive me already!
You think it's a shadow? You've played the game!
Listen well.
You're trying to trick me!
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Oh my god.
Damn it!
Okay, not rhetorical. Is it the killer's mistake? Am I on the right path with the killer's mistake? Yes. But fucking what? I don't know. Now I just need to figure out if I'm fucking doing it backwards or not.
Who could have filmed that video?
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the
Maybe
proof?
blood on the souls is the killer
Is
mistake?
the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mika.
Is that really? You could tell her body type just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight.
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please
Hajime, pay close attention. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Huh? Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikon clearly have different.
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type. So please
Hajime, pay close attention. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
Bro, okay, am I supposed to be holding on? Am I shooting at the killer's mistake or am I shooting it? Shooting it out or shooting at it? Not rhetorical. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. I've shot it at everything.
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Huh? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikon.
I've shot it at everything.
Just from
This
that
is ridiculous.
Video, just from that camera angle, just from that dim candlelight.
Maybe it's the camera angle. Because the camera has it set up in the middle of the stage. And she was hung up on the left side of the stage.
So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well.
That's my next guess.
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
In the video, it looks like she's in the middle. But the death, she was more to the left. That's the best I've got.
Is the hemp bag on her head the
I'm not reading chat because someone could be doing a hold or a keck W. I'm not letting you guys have a say on this
Ibuki and
one.
Mikon clearly have different body.
Is that really? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I'll shoot through that contradiction.
Nikon, you've committed a major mistake.
Mistake?
As I said before many times, I'm the only one who saw that video.
What's wrong with that?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself?
The only reason Mikan knew the camera angle Hajime had seen is because you're the person who actually filmed that video. Is that right?
They did this in the last game?
This is your just
What?
reward. The more desperately you argue, the deeper you dig yourself into a hole. You lied, didn't you?
This whole game is just recycled from the first.
You serious? Is it true, Mikan?
That's Hino's body, just with a
Did you
different
kill
face.
Hiyoko and Ibuki?
Bigger boobs.
Huh? 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 Huh?
Staying alive.
Huh?
Staying alive.
Huh?
Staying alive.
I was wrong. Wrong. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it?
I mean, it's impossible.
Impossible.
You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote bag instead. Ding! I totally remember now.
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting weirder by the minute.
That tote bag. Isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in the video?
How do you know so much about that video?
Who cares about that? More importantly, did you know that bag is a limited item that was sold at the movie theater?
Yeah, but Monokuma said it was a
Hajime
buy one,
saw
get
it
one
too,
free.
Didn't you? You remember the Usami decal on it, right? Whoopsie! Don't worry about it. I remember even if you don't. Ta-da! There's no mistake that tote bag is a limited item. So don't you think it's impossible? Using one tote bag in both the conference room and the music venue at the same time? It's blatantly obvious that that's impossible. Don't...
No, if we read the Monokuma... It's a limited item because when one person can buy it, apparently you get another bag for free when you purchase it.
That's why that video isn't fabricated, and I'm not the killer. So you'll forgive me, right?
Taking your stubbornness this far. Such despair.
Then you're gonna forgive me? I won't stop until you forgive
Burr
me!
remembered something the Korons. Time for the third panic. Oh god, PTA, this is probably going to be my last job during a class trial. Please humor me while I taint your ears. You know, Danganronpa, your tutorials are not funny. One bullet to destroy one mark. When you run out of bullets, you won't be able to destroy your marks. You'll be able to refresh your bullets by pressing the X button to reload. Let's just get this going.
I'll keep explaining it until you forgive me! That!
Oh, sorry, I cut her off.
Crying is impossible for anyone to pull off.
This chick, has she lost it for good?
Will you forgive me? You'll forgive me, right?
I gotta do something and end this. I gotta do something so I can make her admit it. I hate this game.
You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand?
This shit was much better in the first game. This is another thing that was absolutely horrible in this game. They like really made this, like it was so much better in the first game.
You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
Bro, I couldn't even fucking...
There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
This is the end! Monokuma mentioned this earlier.
When you buy one bag, you get another one free. It's a common practice to bait customers with bonus prizes.
Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize. Which means it's not impossible to use that bag in two separate places. So please, just stop making desperate excuses.
Why? Why can't you forgive me? Why?
It seems our desperate struggle is finally coming to an end.
Why does everybody always hate me? You should just forgive me already!
Mikon, it's already over. After I go over your crime from the beginning and show that you have no arguments left,
We'll somehow extend this crime another 35 minutes because
Just
fuck
admit it
you
already.
and your time. We don't
In the
respect it.
at least let me believe in you.
We know how this is gonna go. Bless you for bowing to chat for playing these games. I know the... I'm so fucking nice, aren't I? You're the one that does it in one sit-in? How are you gonna do a trial like this in 2 sit-ins? You're gonna forget everything. Last stock. Oh, this was an easy one. This was originally a PSP game. Skill issue. You fuckers are lucky I play this. This game has had the tendency to make the trial last an extra 30
Here's
minutes with
everything that happened
talking.
In this case, the key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime.
This was way
When I
too
went to
quick
the
for it to be
hospital,
everything. There's
Mikon
gonna
was
be
born.
20 more
I
minutes,
noticed
30
a
more minutes.
specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time. When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital and the music video. That's why I thought the signal originated from the music video, so I immediately headed over there.
Sleep well, la la la.
But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded in a different place. The killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. And then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time, when in fact, the crime had already been committed by that point. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head. Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside. And, as if they were switching places with me, they went inside the music venue and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hyoko's body. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange about that pillar. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper, or have Hyoko's body hidden inside. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of the surveillance monitor found at the crime scene. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video, but when they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, the killer transformed the crime scene into a closed room. They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room and placed it near the music venue's entrance. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the glue. The killer sealed the door with glue and intentionally created a closed room that could be forced open. With that, the killer finished tampering with the crime scene and met up with Fuyuhiko. They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. And they made us
Fuyuhiko looking like Sanji down there.
But Hyoko's suddenly present body as well. At the time, they pretended to be surprised, but inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked out.
What's up, Dan Gan SS?
Isn't that right, Mikon? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
Whoa! Now she's laughing?
It's been such a long time. This feeling, I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing, like the sky is falling down upon you. This feeling of despair!
Mikon, you... What has happened to you?
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of your time.
I started off hot. Ah, we gotta be. We gotta be.
It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to our regularly scheduled voting time. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice?
Next stream. This game is a weekend only thing because of how long it is. Because I do 2 streams a day, Monday through Friday. I typically do 2 streams Monday through Friday, so I usually just... Since this one marbles, it's just gonna get dedicated weekend time because I just like to play them in one chapter. Danganronpa games are long. They are.
Well now.
Now then, though, it may be obvious at this point, you got it right once again. That's like 3 in a row. That's right. The true identity of the horrifying blackened who killed 2 girls was Mikon Sumikimi. Sumiki.
Damn it.
You gotta be shitting me. Are you saying Mikon, the one who nursed us back to health, was the one who killed them?
I won't forgive
Don't
you.
joke around with me, Mikon. Did you lie to us all along? Were you planning to kill them from the start while you were nursing them? Ha 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 ha! Don't just laugh, say something.
What's going on?
So Danganronpa will come back on Saturday.
Hey, hey. That's obvious.
She's no longer the Mikon we knew. Huh?
Hey.
Based on my prediction, she might have caught it too. She probably had the despair disease, which was the motive for this case.
What?
Mikon too, you say? I know, because I was looking at Mikan for so long. She was the one taking care of me after all. My consciousness kept drifting, but even so, when I did catch a glimpse of her, her expression was full of despair. A despair so devoid of hope that not even a single fragment of it remained. Let's go, Paul! Hold on, did you say Mikan also had the despair disease? And that means she was... Hajime. Has something crossed your mind? That's right, Mikan felt really hot at the time. Now that I think about it, that must have been a high fever, just like what Ibuki and Akane had.
It cannot be.
Then because of that disease, Mikan was...
Perhaps.
The symptoms that she surely felt must have been deserving of the name despair disease. Losing all hope and harboring despair for all hope. Because of that despair disease, she was likely overcome with despair.
See?
That's the reason why she can still laugh in such a hopeless situation.
Jeez.
Which means that Mikan standing before us is no longer the ultimate nurse. She's a completely different person now that she's infected by the despair disease.
Isn't that right?
She's a human who deserves to be called the ultimate despair. Ultimate despair? That's the reason why I cannot forgive this. I mean, killing someone for the sake of despair instead of for the sake of hope?
Possible.
There's no way I can forgive that.
Oh?
Huh?
What I did was for the sake of my beloved.
Huh?
Huh?
Who are you talking about? If only they were still alive, they'd be so happy. This is the dumbest chapter.
Was the only one.
Yeah.
That's right. The only one who never hated me. They forgave my existence. They forgave me and accepted me. They gave me value. They loved me. I loved them with all my heart, and they returned it in full. This is my reciprocation.
I understand I've done something unforgivable, but you know, to transcend all that is truly what love is all about.
Hey.
I don't understand what you're saying. You don't understand? Is it because you don't have anyone to love? Is it because you're also someone who isn't accepted by anyone? What a pity. I feel sorry for you.
Well,
Even if I say this, I'm sure nobody here would understand, but love is a wonderful thing. This feeling of freedom where you no longer care about anything. My beloved and I are the ones within the thin veil, and I'm just looking out through it. That's why as long as I'm on the inside, no matter how much they tease me, splash me with water, kick me, it's like nothing matters. I could just die. That's how little it matters. Who cares about hope or despair? It's love, only love. Nagito, is this really the despair disease you were talking about? It seems that I was wrong. Not only was she affected by despair, you were half right. It's right to say that this is all thanks to that disease, because thanks to that disease, I was able to remember my beloved. Remember? Apparently that's what my symptom was. Haha, what a wonderful symptom. Which means you had the remembering disease? But if this means she remembered something and ended up like this, are you saying you were like this from the start? Were you like this before you even came to this island? First of all, the reason I became like this wasn't my fault. It was all your fault, you know? Because it's not like I'm entirely responsible for turning out like this. I'm the person I am today because of many human relationships, so it's everybody's fault that I turned out like this. Even so, the current me was most strongly influenced by my beloved's existence. And it was also my beloved who created the me that everyone can't forgive. But my beloved still forgives me and still accepts me. That is the key difference between of all of you and my beloved.
Don't fuck with me!
Like I said, who the fuck are you talking about? Ha 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 ha. Are you saying this is Mikan? She's the real Mikan? Mikan, please answer me. Did you really remember? You ended up like this all because you remembered the 21st night of September? There's no way I can believe that. There's no way that the person you are right now is the real Mikan. Oh, you still doubt me? Then to prove I remember, I'll tell you all something nice. It's about the World Ender organization that you all were worrying about.
Are you serious?
No, I just remembered, that's all. I knew about it all along. How a horrifying organization known as World Ender is also the organization known as the Future Foundation. Future Foundation. Future. That's right, the symbol on the ancient ruins door. That's right, it was the Japanese word for future. Just what is the Future Foundation? What are they planning? As the name suggests, that organization is the World Ender. The Future Foundation is trying to end our world. To put it simply, they're trying to claim the world for themselves. What the fuck? This isn't a comic book, you know? As part of their plan to end the world, the Future Foundation brought us to this island. Isn't that right, Manami? I knew it! Manami, Monokuma, they're both members of that crazy organization, aren't they? Monami and I aren't members.
I am Monokuma!
My existence is entirely my own.
Hey,
Don't laugh. Hey, Mikan, if you really do remember, then you already know, right? You know that the true identity of the traitor hiding among us. Of course I know that. Let's see, the Future Foundation's lackey that's hiding among you all is... Oh, well, no one really cares about that, don't you think?
of course not.
Oh, hell no! You'll find out eventually, so there's no need to be so impatient. Probably when the countdown ends. Countdown? You even knew about that. I don't know anything. I have a feeling that's what it is, but who cares about that, you know? I'm drowning in so much love from the bottom of my heart, I just don't care about anyone or anything. Is this really you? I won't believe it. There's no way I can believe you were like this all along, because if that's true, then who's the person we've been spending time with up until now? The past. That person, she didn't exist in the beginning. She's just my past self who lost her school memories. You guys considered that thing a friend. Sigh, that doesn't make me happy at all. It just fills me with despair. You guys accepted my past self, but not my present self. That's... Well, that applies to you all as well. Memories of people, memories of events, whatever memories it is, losing memories are like losing your personal identity. Memory is the most important thing. Most important component in building a person, don't you think? Yeah. Losing our memories makes us shadows of the past, don't you think?
Hey.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but in the end, it always leads back to that story about our stolen school lives.
Hey.
So it was true all along, our memories were taken away? If it wasn't true, we wouldn't be suffering this much. Well, why don't you just take your sweet time and remember at your own pace? Oh, Monokuma, is it all right for you to start now?
Yes, indeed.
Punishment time? Damn it, why? Mikan, why does it have to end like this? This is too pointless. This is too much.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For the ultimate nurse, Mikan Tsukimi.
So it's over. It's really... Now I can go to my beloved, who always forgives me. I can finally see them. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
It's finished. Is it really finished? The killer who killed Ibuki, Miyota, and Hiyoko Sayonji was... Dude, we lost Hiyoko for that shit? And Ibuki? God. She apparently committed her crime because she was affected by the despair disease. So what? What's finished? Nobody wanted it to end this way.
Let me ask.
Who was that Mikan from earlier? Who was that? Was that her true form? Is that itself a symptom of the despair disease? Doesn't matter either way. If she ended up like that just from remembering, then all along Mikan was never worth being a symbol of hope. Even if her words were influenced by the despair disease, if she lost herself to a simple disease, she was definitely unworthy of being a symbol of hope.
That right?
So let's just move on. Come on, let's all take this despair and change it into hope. That is impossible. I mean, I thought we were friends this whole time, but even so. Like a house of cards collapsing in an instant. In the end, our friend we thought we knew ended up showing us in a completely different side of herself. Then she vanished from our sight, leaving behind only her malice toward us. And now there's no way we can just move on or try to have a clear-cut attitude about these feelings. That's clearly impossible.
Damn it!
It would have been so much easier if she was the traitor, too.
Wrong.
Too bad that's not the case. Mikan was not the traitor. The traitor is still alive. As proof, see how fine Manami looks right now. I'm not fine at all. But if the traitor died, you wouldn't be this calm, right? I mean, you're both pawns of the future foundation, so you guys are like two hearts beaten as one, right?
You fiend.
What does that make you, fiend? You did say that you're different from Manami. Who cares about who I am? More important, I'm tired. The drama just kept going and going. I didn't even have time to eat my black bean right eye during the break. Your right eye is made out of black beans? Wait, now's not the time to focus on that. What are you trying to say? You know, isn't it said that life has its ups and downs? It's fun because downs come after ups, but if life was full of downs, wouldn't it get boring? So in order to help you guys feel better, I've prepared a special event. Head over to First Island's beach. An old friend will be waiting there.
Huh?
Nekomaru? Safe, how should I say this? I knew it. I knew that crazy bastard Nekomaru would come back in one piece. Awesome, we're starting to see the light of hope. That light of hope. I'm happy Nekomaru's returned to us, but
So just as I
3 of our
thought.
friends just died, so I honestly cannot be happy. Miss Sonia?
However,
Even so, I am still happy if Nekomaru is safe. I am truly happy. If you are happy, you should honestly greet him with open arms. Perhaps those who have been taken from us would do the same if they still lived. Hey, Supreme Overlord of who gives a shit. That line doesn't suit you at all. I shall crush you into dust. Ibuki, Hyoka, Mikan, can you hear us? If you are unhappy, I apologize. However, please forgive me. For right now, I want to warmly welcome Nekomaru when he returns to us. You don't have to worry, Sonya. I'm sure your feelings are reaching them.
Right?
Then let's all greet Nekomaru. Let's make it a grand for even those who have died. What the heck? Do I still have the after effects of that disease? I don't get this at all. Akane. Alrighty then, let's go. Yeah, you're right. Nekomaru's coming back. When we heard that, we all were able to contain our excitement as we jumped into the elevator. Man, they just ran off without listening to what I had to say. Jeez, they're so impatient. Didn't they learn to stick around until others have finished talking? What does that mean? You're plotting something again, aren't you?
No way!
I'm not plotting anything. I was just trying to properly explain everything to them, including Nekomaru's body. It's their fault for not sticking around until I finish talking, so if something happens because of that, I bear no responsibility. What did you do to Nekomaru? What did I do? I just saved him, that's all. I mean, if I didn't do that, there's no way I could have saved someone who was that close to death. So it couldn't be helped. Hurry to the beach on the first island. Let's haul ass. Even though our minds were completely exhausted, strangely enough, our bodies felt light. Without stopping for anything, we kept right on running toward the beach on the first island. He's a mono beast. Where in the world is Nekomaru?
Hey.
Nekomaru, show yourself. We have come to pick you up. Please hurry up and come out of hiding. We raised our voices. We looked around the area. We raised our voices again. We looked around the area again, and so on and so forth. We kept looking for him. But what the hell, man? He's nowhere to be found. Could it be, did we get false info from Monokuma again? And that's when it happened. We heard a familiar voice echo throughout the beach. What happened? Were you all looking for me? With high hopes in our hearts, we turned toward the direction of that voice, and then we saw something truly unbelievable.
Huh? What the?
Yo! I've kept you waiting. Hey, what's going on? Perhaps you don't remember my face since we haven't seen each other in a while. That's pretty sad, you know? That's too much!
who are you?
Huh? You too? What's going on? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it to you.
He got shot with a bazooka.
Nekomaru? Haven't you noticed it yourself?
What do you mean, noticed? Oh, you mean this body? This is nothing! The name's Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!
How much time is left? 11 days? 9 days! Oh god, we're gonna die! Chapter 3 has been complete. YouTube Let's Play. Hope you enjoyed Chapter 3. We're almost done. 9 students stay alive. To be continued. Damn right.